Well, it is a historic event not seen by royal watchers, as I mentioned, in 70 years. The coronation of King Charles III will happen on Saturday. The live coverage starts at 3 a.m. Manitoba time on CBC television and on all CBC platforms. And we're wondering whether or not you're getting up early to watch. My first guest this morning certainly will be. In fact, she's already preparing. Chocolatier Constance Popp has some special treats for her Provencher Avenue shop in St. Boniface to mark the occasion. And as I mentioned, she's up early with us, and she actually brought food in. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Marcy. So nice to see you live in person in the studio.
I know. I'm soaking all of it in. This is the first spring, right, where we've had live guests in years. And
Beautiful.
It's just such a pleasure to have community in at CBC. What have you made? What is this?
Well, we're excited about the coronation.
Yeah.
And so we always make something lovely whenever these sorts of things happen. And this time, the official meal for the coronation is the coronation quiche. And we decided to make this too.
It smells amazing. So they actually put their recipes out so you can follow them. So this is the official.
It is. Their chef, Mark Flanagan, came up with this with the Queen Consort Camilla and King Charles so that it can be replicated in everyone's homes. And I think that there's an element of restraint. And so it's just 2 eggs and a couple of items in it that you could easily find in your fridge.
Am I smelling cinnamon?
Well, you know, the filling is the exact recipe from Buckingham Palace, but we changed the crust. What we did was we made it gluten-free, and we added a bit of hot pepper, and I think there might be a bit of cinnamon. I'm feeling like I'm smelling that as well. I have to ask Olivia if she ended up putting cinnamon in there, but it is the hot pepper, because this is such a plain quiche. There's no onions in it. There's no garlic in it. It's spinach. It's white cheddar cheese. It's
broad beans, I think.
Broad beans, that's right. And also tarragon. So I think the tarragon is part
Maybe
of the
that's
spice that you're smelling. Yeah.
It's lovely. It's lovely. Now, why go to the trouble? I know that from past interviews, in past years, I know you're a royal watcher. I know you're excited, obviously. Tell me a little bit about your love of the monarchy and where that connection still lives for you today.
It's a couple of things. One is I like the historical aspect of it. The coronation itself has been a ceremony that has been conducted for over 1,000 years. So I guess the first one would have been King Edward of Wessex in 973. So that's really awesome that you're getting sort of a time machine look at what these ceremonial rituals would have been all those years ago, and it's still the same today. And so there's that. And then the other is I do like all the sort of festivities surrounded around it, that we would be eating a quiche that other people would also be making in their homes or wherever.
There's like a
they
global
might be.
sharing of it.
There is. And I think that's one of the aspects about the monarchy that I actually like, is that they do tend to, apart from some of their controversies, which I feel that they'll have to contend with and over time. But I like that they are linking cultures together or linking people together.
It's interesting because I know that when the Queen died, some of what you're saying was echoed by a lot of different listeners and a lot of Canadians, where they said there was something about the history when you really realize, because these are the moments where we see that on full display, right? So where will you watch on Saturday? I'm curious.
From the comfort of my home.
Yeah.
I have to work that day, which is nice and convenient. Thank you for having the coronation before work hours. That's awesome. So, but this quiche is a nice breakfast thing to have, and of course some tea. So that's what I will be doing.
What's beside it here? You made a truffle as well.
We did. Yes, it's supposed to look like it has a crown on the top.
It's beautiful. Yeah, the royal purple you've nailed.
That's right.
Here. Yeah, it looks just like velvet. And then the swirling of the golden. What's inside?
It's called London Fog, and it has Earl Grey tea and honey in it with dark chocolate.
Earl Grey is kind of one of those flavors of the moment, right? It's good in so many things.
Such a classic royal tea is Earl Grey tea, so there we go.
What about people that don't get it? You know this, that not a lot of some Canadians don't feel the same way about the monarchy. Of course, we have this recent Leger survey of 1,544 Canadians. 56% agreed the country should, quote, reconsider its ties to the monarchy now that there's a new sovereign. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree.
Do you?
I do. I feel that this next iteration of kingship, we're going to start to see I don't know, the waning of the monarchy. And I think the monarchy will probably end up only being an institution within the boundaries of the UK, probably just London and England itself. And I think that's okay. We're evolving as societies across the globe. And I feel that the monarch has been doing that as well. Like, they don't have the same stature in society as they would have had hundreds of years ago, certainly not even within the last 100 years. And I think we see the slow end of that once Queen Elizabeth II passed on. And so we'll see, but I still think we can celebrate in a positive way some of these sorts of things.
So while you respect the history and you feel a tie to that history moving forward, you actually, what would you feel if that tie were to be cut? Would you have an emotional feeling about it, or would you feel like you said, maybe it is time for Canada?
For me personally, I do like those ceremonies. Is it meant to be a part of our Canadian Constitution? I don't think so over time in the long haul. And so, can we still celebrate these things from afar? Absolutely. When you go to England or to London, what is one of the things you do? You go visit Buckingham Palace. Yep. So, we can still have those kinds of reverences for it, but I feel newer generations will not feel as strongly as, in our lifetime, I've seen Lady Diana get married, and you sort of go through all the things over the years, and so I think so. I have a sentimentality or a nostalgia for these things, but I think going forward, King Charles will not be a king for too long. Let's just say 20 years. Let's just say realistically, because of his age.
If he has his mother's longevity, yeah.
So I feel like and I don't want to offend anyone, but I feel like it's as each king becomes anointed, and it'll be Prince William after him, it's becoming watered down. So I feel we're all like collectively are going to be sort of letting go of those sentimentalities. I think, who knows, because it's been around for over 1,050 years. Like, that's a long time.
What kind of reaction do you get I'm just curious, when you have the royal, truffles in the shop and such, do you get people coming in to buy them for, I guess, local watch parties, or
Absolutely.
just individually? Yeah.
That's right. People are excited. We do have already orders for the cakes, and people are asking, actually they're asking us for cakes as well. I shouldn't say cakes, because we were getting orders for the quiches, but people are also asking for cakes, because I guess people associate royalty with high tea lunches and high tea cakes.
Oh yeah.
So we're actually now scrambling, thinking, should we make a cake? Because it takes a lot of effort to come up with what we do make and all the truffles, and also just different versions of the truffles. People are wanting. They're asking us for, we also made lavender truffles, because lavender is Camilla's favorite truffle. So we did that as well. But for the king, we made the Earl Grey tea and honey.
Well, it's a special occasion when your shop's making quiche, because I don't think that's normal for you guys.
That's right. No, but we do make some things like, at the core of every ganache is a sauce. And a quiche is a sauce base. Like, food is food.
Yep.
And if we can put chocolate in it, that would be awesome. But during festival we make toitier pies. Like, we do sandwiches in the summertime for walker-bys and the tourists. So we do make things outside of chocolate sometimes.
Well, enjoy the coronation. This is so lovely that you brought us in a taste this morning, unexpected and appreciated. And we'll have to check in with you and see what you thought of everything after Saturday, perhaps.
Well, thank you. I love CBC. And if I wasn't here right now, I'd be listening to all of you this morning.
That's very kind.
Pat and Abby and Heather and yourself.
Well, very kind. Thanks for coming in, and good luck with the sales of your truffles. And thanks for telling us
Thank you very kindly. Good morning.
Chocolatier Constance Popp. She's at 180 Provencher Boulevard out in St. Boniface. The coverage of the coronation of King Charles III starts at 3 a.m. Saturday. That's our local time here. And please catch it on CBC Television, GEM, Explore, and the CBC News app. The weekend morning show, by the way, is going to start a little late because of it. It'll be on the air at 7 o'clock at World Report.